What's up, guys? It's Alex from BRZn Fitness.
Colin from BRZn Fitness.
We're going to be going over week 2 of our 5x5 program. Colin, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I just got done with a stellar workout. It was, stellar is the word for it. I'm going snowboarding this weekend, so I cut my Friday workout volume by a third, so I lifted a lot lighter, but I went for deeper ranges today, which is not exactly the way that I prefer the whole program to be set up. But since I'm going to be very leg oriented this weekend snowboarding, I figured I would give them a break before I went off. But my Monday and my Wednesday were at load. I went up by 5 pounds, and I definitely expect to be up by another 5 pounds next week. So I wasn't really that negatively affected. I shouldn't be negatively affected today.
So this week, I'm still having the same problems as last week. I feel like there's not a whole bunch of volume, and it's still a pretty big adjustment process from my last program stop. So that's still a pretty hard adjustment. So I'm having to change my diet and everything accordingly, so I'm not in as much of a surplus because I'm getting a little fat. But one thing that did happen after week 1, I messed up my shoulder a little bit, and that's because I didn't warm up properly. Even though we had already been working out for, what was it, like 45 minutes, an hour, I either strained my anterior deltoid or impinged my shoulder, so it's really bothering me. So that's been causing me a lot of problems through my workouts. It's affecting me in my squats, just because I feel it kind of pulling me down and it's distracting me. And then for this week on Wednesday, we had our push day, and I couldn't do my bench as slow as I should have been. I couldn't do my overhead press, and well, that's it for the shoulder. And then because it has been colder, it has been raining here this past week, my knee's been bothering me a lot. So again, my squat form hasn't been up to par. My hip press hasn't been going all that well. I have to do a little bit different setups because my knee can't be in that much flexion. I have to be on something higher than our hip press machine. I have to be on a bench, so that might be a little modification that some of you taller guys use. So it's not causing as much problem or as much difficulty getting into the movement. Other than that, my weights have been feeling good. I didn't go up a whole bunch this week just because all the issues I just talked about. But other than that, it's going all right. I'm seeing some decent progress in my form. Today we talked about how to do upright rows properly, because I was going a little too high with my elbow above my shoulder, and that might be causing some of that impingement strain on my deltoid. So yeah, all in all, it was pretty good this week. I'm really excited to see what happens next week.
For a good rule of thumb for the upright row, if your elbows are going above your shoulder, try pulling back more as opposed to up more. The point of the upright row is basically to get that bar traveling upwards so that you can drop underneath it for a clean. The muscles that you're activating should be through the mid-back and shoulders, not necessarily shrugging through it. It's that upright row shrug position where you kind of end up in this one. When your hand is rotated in, it's going to take that supraspinatus and pull it forward. And then as the elbow gets higher above that 90 degree or even above that 70 degree mark, it pushes that bursa sac back, and you end up with your acromion directly on the supraspinatus, and that's where impingement occurs. So basically that rubbing creates that inflammation, which ultimately leads to pain, and we don't want to do that. So as you pull up, press back, squeeze through the mid-back, and then pop that chest forward into the bar, and then come back down. So that would be a good rule of thumb for that upright row. And if you want lighter weight or change the resistance, you can change the angle by using cables or then bending more forward into the exercise. So just that's a quick tip, just to kind of cover what he was doing, was bringing them up a little bit high. So bring them back down and then pull back through the spine or through the mid-back and scapula.
So, Colin, what are we expecting for this next week? What are your goals for this next week?
Everything should be clean, up by 5 pounds. I've been doing a lot of low bar back squat. I did my high bar back squat, and I was dipping pretty far below parallel, and I felt really good with it. So I might do my normal load next week at high bar instead of low bar. Let's see how I feel with that. I expect everything to go up by 5 pounds this next week, so I'll be doing, 145 upright rows and 145 overhead press, and I expect that to go pretty smoothly. And then kind of want to see what I'm looking for is for myself is some weight gain, so I'm actually going to be going up in calories since I'm staying about the same right now.
So my goals and everything for this next week and what I expect is I want to clean up my form on everything. I want it to be 100% perfect. Like if you watch the first video in this series, we talked about having everything be focused on the intrinsic muscle activation and all that. So I'm going to be really trying to clean that up. I'm going to be focusing on trying to fix the shoulder problem I have, icing and kind of taking it back a little bit and decreasing my weight on my presses. As for squats, hip thrust, deadlifts, all that, I expect everything to go up by 5 pounds. And they've been feeling really good. So I'm also decreasing my calories a little bit because my weight's been going up, so I need to kind of cut back on that. But other than that, I'm excited for this next week.
Alright guys, we'll see you all later. We'll do that next video next Friday, and if you guys like this and kind of want to follow along, make sure to download our workout.
Link in the description box below.
And then, you guys can post your videos or post your comments, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, like what you're feeling or do any form checks, post us a video and we'll check it out. All right, guys.